The disgrace of an individual is noticeable, but the disgrace of a nation is not. Uh, Welcome to section 11. But before then, uh, I would have to state that in my last episode, episode 964, uh, we did finish the section, which was section 10. Everything up to sign 76, short of the notes. We began with the note to sign 75, and then I was compelled to stop because my phone had eaten up. The note to read was note 592. We were reading it before. That was what we were reading before the incident. We shall repeat it then. So we didn't read the notes to sign 75 and 76. Yes, sign 75 and sign 76. Now we are going to do it. Note 592, which is against weak. It's talking about weakness. The Ifan, being weak or ill-treated. No, no, no. And of those who, being weak, the Ifan. Uh, Mustadaf, Mustadaf, that's weak. It's spelled in English and in italics. Equals, mm, equals. Uh, one reckoned weak and therefore ill-treated and oppressed. Compare compare 7 compare chapter 6 98, chapter 6 98, and then chapter 7 150. 96 98, I think we did it. Let's see. 698, 698, 698. No, no, compare. No, no, no. Compare 698. Yes, compare 698. Yes, 698. Let's see. That's the 698. Uh, it is he who had produced you from a single soul. Then there is a testing place. There is a resting place and a repository. We we detail our signs for people who understand. No, IV is not 6, it's 4. No, IV is 4. Let's see. Let's try 498. We haven't gotten there yet. No, 498. Please pardon me. This is the wrong. I always admit that I have troubles with Roman numerals. So let's go to the other 498. I beg your pardon. My knees are down for you. 498. 498. 498. That's it. 498. Except those who are really weak and oppressed. The word really is in brackets. Without it, it reads, except those who are weak and oppressed, men, women, and children who have no means in their power, nor can they find a way into brackets to escape. Can they find a way then into brackets to escape? And that we've done that. Then we went to the next comparison, or the next reference, which was 7 150. That was where we were. And when the I was off when my phone went off. 97159 7150 rather 7150. I suppose you should be talking about weakness to or powerlessness. Weakness or powerlessness. Seven, yes, 7-1, weakness or powerless. 7-1, 150. When Moses came back to his people, angry, grieved, he said, "Evil it is that ye have done in my place, in my absence. Colon. Did ye make haste to bring on the judgment of your Lord? Question. He put down the tablets, seized the brother by the hair, by the hair of his beard, uh, by the by it would have the hair of his beard is the head of his is in brackets. The hair of his is in brackets. Without the brackets, it reads, he sees his brother by his head. No, not here, not here, not by the head, but by the. So we add the brackets, and it will then read by the hair of his head, and dragged him. Well, in the Arabic language, you are supposed to understand it. You can't hold, you can't seize somebody by the head like this. No. So the Arabs will understand. In fact, not only the Arabs, any Sicilian person will know that no, he held the head. The head is part of the beard. The beard. He held the beard. The beard is part of the head. So some Africans, Ghanaians, they will say bia bia. uh, by his by the hair of his head, and dragged him to him, and dragged Aaron to him. Aaron said, "Son of my brother, mm, son of my brother, the people did indeed reckon me as naught, and went near to slaying me." So here we have weakness or powerlessness, and went near to slay me. Make not the enemies rejoice over my misfortune, nor count thou me amongst people, nor count thou me amongst the people of sin. Mm. So, in other words, when Moses left Aaron to take charge of the Israelites while he went to the mountain, he was alone. He was powerless. He was weak. They could even slay him. So the reference is complete now. And that's the reference to sign 7. That's the reference to sign 150 of chapter 7. Mustard of weakness. We now go to the next reference, which is sorry, we now go to the next note, which is note 9, which is note 593. We now go to note 593 of sign 75. And what does it say? It's against help, Nasirun, who will help, no helpers. Even from the human point of view, the cause of God is the cause of justice. Yes. The moment you deal with justice, you are in the cause of God, you are in the way of God. Even though you may say you don't believe in God, but it's God who has ordained justice. So the commentator is telling us, even from the human point of view, the cause of God is the cause of justice, the cause of the oppressed. Full stop. In the great persecution, before Mecca was won again, what sorrows, threats, tortures, and oppressions were suffered by those whose faith was unshaken? Question mark. Muhammad's life and that of his adherents was threatened, semicolon. They were mocked, assaulted, insulted, and beaten. Those within the power of the enemy were put into chains and cast into prison. Others were boycotted and, and shut out of trade. Others were boycotted and shut out of trade, business, and social intercourse. They could not even buy the food they wanted or perform their religious duties. So, this is a very important message to everybody. Those who said Muslims are wicked and violent, they suffered more wickedness and violence from unbelievers in the past. Muslims could not even pray openly. They could be shot. And even in recent times, it happens. In Israel, you hear of people pray in a mosque and Jews will enter the mosque and start shooting them from the back, either from the back or front. I don't know whether it's stupidity or cowardice or what. You see, so Muslims really suffered a lot of violence in the hands of unbelievers. Let's continue. Or perform the even to perform their religious duties or perform their religious duties. The persecution was redoubled for the believing slaves. Kai! Eh? Eh. The persecution was redoubled for the believing slaves, women, and children after the Hijrat. Their cry for a protector and helper from God was answered when Muhammad, the chosen one, brought freedom and peace to Mecca again. So here we are at the word protector. Nasirun or Nasran, what is the word there? Wala Nasiran, no protector until the Prophet of God, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, came back to Mecca with peace after fighting. Into brackets, my own brackets, after fighting. Now, we finish with note with sign 75. And that this note is to sign 75. We now go to the note to sign 76, which is note 594, dealing with friends. So fight ye against the friends of Satan. The friends of Satan. We have them all over the place, even in your home, in your workplace, in the streets, the markets, supermarkets, everywhere we have friends of Satan, but they are not identified by sight, no, but by their acts. Unfortunately, sometimes they finish their acts before you identify them as friends of Satan. So let's go to the note concerning friends of Satan. Uliya'a, uliya'a, plural of wali. So wali is friend. Uliya'a is friends. Arabic language is not like English. You simply add S and that is all. No. In Arabic, almost all of them are irregular nouns. Mm. I hope I'm right using irregular. Yeah. So ulia plural wali, friend, supporter, protector, patron from the same root as maula, for which see for chapter 4, sign 33, note 543. Can we go there, note 543, to see maula or friends 543, just to refresh our minds, note 543. Note 543. we did it not quite long ago. 543, yes. Maula or Mawali. Mawali, plural of Maula. So Maula is singular, and mawali is plural. From the root wala, from the root wala, to be near in place or relationship. Mm, To be near in place, to be near in place or relationship. To follow. Mola may therefore mean nearly related. Hair, Heir, eh, nearly related to one, that's one. Two, hair. Three, sharer or partner, semicolon. These three meanings are implied here. Then four, neighbor or friend or protector or client. Mm, uh, uh, yes, or client. Then we are referred again, no, we won't go there, man. We won't go there, Mr. Commentator. Then we are referred again to sign, uh, I suppose, XLIV. mm, Either 94 or either sign 94, I don't know, or 44. And then note 44. Mm. Okay, let me read in the Roman only. XLIV. That's the surah. Then the chapter. That's the chapter. Then the verse 44 or sign 44. We won't go there. Then the fifth meaning of Mawali or Maula is here. Lord or master. Lord or master. And we are being referred again to sign 14 to note. We are being referred again to chapter 16. No, yes, to chapter 16, sign 76. Pardon me, let me read in Arabic. The 16, what I call 16 here is XVI. My mind is not so sharp now. XVI, uh, sign 76. And so we've done the reference or the comparison mm, of Mawla of or Ulia. Now we can go to section 11 proper. Mm. Uh, Now we go to section 11 proper. I don't think we will finish it. We may stop on the way. That's what I just checked. It's quite long. Section 11. We spent most of the time correcting or finishing the last section. So section 11. Alam tara allazina kila lahum kufu aidiakum. Hast thou not turned thy thought to those who were told to hold back their hands into brackets from fight? Allazina kila lahum. Allazina kila lahum kufu aidiakum. Hold back their hands from fight. From fight is in brackets, so hold back their hands. But the Arabic speakers know what it means. Hold back their hands. They immediately understand that it's from fight because we are talking of war. Hold back their hands. Wa ikimu salawata wa atu zakawata falamma kutiba alayhim alkitali izan farikun minhum. Oh, it's long. Let's shorten it. Kufu aidikum wa akimu salawata wa atu zakawata. Those who are told to hold back their hands, but establish regular prayers, akimu salawata, and spend in regular zakat, wa atu zakawata. Falamma kutila alayhim al-qital, falamma kutiba alayhim al-qitalu, when at length is in brackets. mm, When, without the brackets, it reads, when the order for fighting was issued to them, falamma kutiba alayhim al-qitalu. When the order for fight was issued uh, to them, behold, oh, okay, we haven't read the Arabic, it doesn't matter, we can go. Behold, a section of them feared men as or even more than they should have feared God. Mm. Izan fariqan minhum yashuna annasa kahashiyallahi, like they should fear God. Kahashiyallahu, kahashiyallahi, aw ashadu hashiyatan, aw ashadu hashiyatan. Uh, Behold, a section of them feared men as dash or even more dash they should have feared God. Mm. Uh, ashada hashiyatan, or more than they should have feared God. Wakalu rabana lima kut lima katabta alina alkitala. Uh, They should have feared God at all. They said, pardon me, they said, we read that one. They said, our Lord, why hast thou ordered us to fight? Kalu, I've missed it again. Kalu, Rabana, lima katabta alena alkitala. Why hast thou ordered us to fight? Lo la ahrajtana, lo la ahrajtana ila ajlun karibin. Lo la ahrajtana ila ajlun karibin. Why hast thou ordered us to fight? Wouldst thou not grant us a respite to our to our natural time? Wouldst own English, would, then st, wouldst thou not grant us respite to our natural term? The word natural is in brackets. So without it, it is, wouldst thou not grant us respite to our term? Near enough. To our term, near enough. Ajulun, term. Karibin, near enough. In other words, God, they are now telling God the time they should fight and not the time God asks them to fight. This cowardice. I don't know whether I would have been among such people. And you, viewer, you could have been among such people too. Because that's when the blood starts solidifying instead of being fluid. Fear. So the whole thing is here is fear. The whole thing here is fear. To our natural time, near enough. Karibun. Kul mata'ul dunya kalilun. Kul mata'ul dunya kalilun. The prophet is told to say, short is the enjoyment of this world. Mata'ul dunya kalilun. Short is the enjoyment of this world. Indeed, short is it. Short it is. It is short. You're giving birth. It takes some time for you to mature. When you mature, sometimes it takes time for you to make money. After you make money, the rest of the time, is determined by God for you to die. So you see, it's short. Mm, for you to enjoy the money after making it, it's short. Mm. For some of us, even the whole of your life, from birth to death, you see that it's short. And for the elderly ones, you see that you are there, people are giving birth, and you see the small ones just growing up, then suddenly uh, the years are running into decades, or let's say days into weeks, and weeks into months, months into years, years into decades. You see that life is short, and you yourself, you see that sooner or later you will go. As I sit down here, I remember my childhood days just like yesterday. Mm. And so will many elderly people uh, feel. Yes, so will many elderly people remember. So the enjoyment of this world, short is the enjoyment of this world. Mata udunya kalilan wal ahiratu khairun liman itaka. Uh, very short. Very short. Short is the enjoyment of this world. The hereafter is the best for those who do right. Liman itaka. Eh? Uh, Wal ahiratu khairin liman ittaka. Uh, the hereafter is the best for those who fear. Wala wala tuslamuna kalilan. Wala tuslamuna kalilan. Never will ye be dealt with unjustly, in the very least. Mm. Uh, Never will ye be dealt with unjustly, in the very least. Mm. And that is wa la tuslamuna. Wala tuslamuna fatilan. It's not kalilan. Pardon me. Wala tuslamuna fatilan. Wala tuslamuna fatilan. We did fatilan. I think it's part of a seed or something, or the grooves in a seed. Mm? La tuslamuna fatilan, not kalinan. Fatilan. Never will ye be dealt with unjustly, in the very least. Fatilan. All right. Uh, I think viewers will stop here and then continue in our next episode with the note. No, again, I'm going to forget to read the notes. Pardon. Let's read the notes before we uh, break. Mm. And the notes are 595, 596, 595, and 596. 595 is holding back their hands. That's not fighting. Mm, from fighting. 595. Uh, Therefore, the command for fighting was issued. Sorry. Oh my God. Before. It's not therefore, it's before. Pardon me. Before the command for fighting was issued, there were some who were impatient and could scarcely be held back. I now understand. So, viewers, I think you are now understanding. So, the very brave ones among them, who were eager to follow the order of the prophet, and that's the order of God, were agitating to fight. And they were being told to calm down, calm down, calm down. Okay. They were being told to calm down. There were some who were impatient and could scarcely be held back. They wanted fighting from human motives. Pugnacity. Pugnacity is spelled Pugnacity. Pugnacity. I hope I've pronounced it right. Pugnacity. Let me go back. They wanted fighting from human motives, comma, and dash. Pugnacity. Hatred against their enemies. The gaining of personal ends. Full stop. Fighting from such motives is wrong at all times. Mm. Well, it's the same commentator talking, so let's take it. Maybe I went far. They wanted fighting from such motives is wrong at all times. Mm. When the testing time came and they had to fight, not for their own hand, but for a sacred cause, in which for a sacred cause, comma, in which there was much suffering and little personal gain, the hypocrites held back and were afraid. Okay, this is history. The commentators have done gone into history to find out why hold back your hands was ordered, why they were told to hold back their hands. They wanted to fight at their own time, even before the order, probably for their personal gains. Mm. Then, when the order came and they saw that the personal gains wouldn't come in, some of them, they then were holding back their hands. Mm. Good commentary there. Okay. Uh, where were you? When the testing time came and they had to fight, not for their own hand, but for a sacred cause, in which there was much suffering and little personal gain, the hypocrites held back and were afraid. And that was note 595 to sign 77. We now go to the next note, which is 596, and is natural term. It's again concerning the hypocrites. Mm, or the fearful people, those who were no, or the people who were afraid of war. Mm, 596. 596. Our natural term of life, they would say, is short enough. Why should we jeopardize it by fighting in which there is no personal gain? Yeah. Mm. The answer is the answer is began in this verse and continued in the next. So unfortunately, we won't do the next verse until our next video. Mm. The answer uh, is began in this verse and continued in the next. Full stop. Then paragraph. Briefly, the answer is one. In any case, the pleasures of this world are short. Mata untunia kalilan. Mm. The pleasures of this world are short. This life is fleeting. Semicolon. Is short. Semicolon. This life is fleeting. Semicolon. The first thing for a righteous man to do is to emancipate himself from its obsessions. What are the obsessions? Big monies, mansions, cars, aeroplanes, women, children, drinking, is to emancipate ourselves from these obsessions. Then, two, to do your duty is to do right. To do your duty is to do right. Therefore, turn your attention mainly to duty. Three, when duty calls for self sacrifice, be sure that God's call is never unjust and never such as is never unjust and never such as to exceed your capacity. Semicolon. And fourth point, and four, if you fear death, you will not by fear escape death. If you fear death, you will not uh, by your fear of God escape death. Semicolon. It will find you out wherever you are. These uh, phrases are in the Quran. The commentator is just quoting from the Quran. Mm. It will find you out wherever you are. Mm. Then, semicolon. Why not face it boldly when duty calls? Why not face it boldly when duty calls? And that is the last note, the second and last note to sign uh, 77. We shall halt here. And God willing, when we come back in our next episode, we will begin with sign 78. Thank you very much. Bye bye. May God be with you all.